Hello, everybody, and welcome to something new related to Magic. This is Preferred Selection, and I'm going to be doing a video where, if all goes well, we should be starting with just an idea for a Magic deck, and by the end of the video, from nothing, we should have a complete deck, or the start of a deck, just enough of a shell that you could start playing with your, buddy, and you could figure out from there what you want to tune it to be. A beta of the deck, I guess, is one way to look at it. All right, so the general idea of what I want to do is build a deck around Jhoira of the Gitu. It has been done before by other people. I don't think I'm going to be really breaking any new ground, aside from maybe some odd ground from just the card choices I have available to me. But the reason I'm building Jhoira is because a new spoiled card, got me excited about the general. I have had Jhoira put together in real life before, and I liked it. I didn't quite have a normal build. It was kind of whatever I had available to me in my collection, which doesn't have many playable red rares. So my offline collection. So I have built Jhoira. It was not quite what I wanted to be in real life. But without getting into that, I want to talk about what got me excited about Jhoira again. There was a new spoiled card called Treasonous Ogre, and I apologize, nothing's going to be on the screen for like a second, nothing too exciting. But this new card, it's a 2/3 for 4. Just pretend this is a podcast and excuse my lack of images. It's a 2/3 for 4 that you pay 3 life to add a red to your mana pool. No tapping, no restriction, just you can dump 30 life into it, make 10 mana. If you have infinite life, you have infinite mana. So there's that. So this card, it's obviously excited a lot of people. People are talking about, is it going to be banned in Commander right away? I don't think it will, but I don't really understand Commander bannings. That's a topic for a whole nother day. I think the format where Sol Ring and Grim Monolith are legal, and you can't say that they're discouraged because Sol Ring is in the precons. But I shouldn't get into that. But yeah, I don't understand the banning, so let's not talk about bannings. Let's talk about the card as though we're going to get to play with it. So this card costs 4, but for 4 mana you're getting a lot of red mana at the expense of 3 life per hit, and that's pretty good. That is going to allow you to cast really just about anything. And what I've seen, just like the very limited amount of people I've talked to about it, I've seen people talking about time stretch. Time stretches, take 2 extra turns for 10 mana. Obviously a very powerful thing to do off of a new mana source. However, people want to talk about time stretch and red replication and the tooth and nail 9 and 10 mana spells all day long. But as someone who's played a lot of ramp, I've played a ton of ramp decks. Only in EDH really. When I play ramp in EDH, I like to be able to take advantage of my ramp sources even when I'm not ready to try and kill somebody with a 10 mana spell. Because if you go play a Genesis Wave or an Ulamog or whatever, that's a one, you have to have it in your hand, so there's that. But 2, you have to also be ready to play it. You have to be in a position where maybe you're in a 4-man game and 2 people have died and now it's just you and one other guy or girl, and you're not always ready to go for the kill. Maybe it's just simply a matter of your opponent's blue and they've got counter magic up. So in those scenarios, if I'm playing a ramp spell, I want to be able to use it to allow me to do things like cast multiple spells a turn. Like, you know, if you have a Gilded Lotus in play, for example, Gilded Lotus can allow you to do things like, you know, let's say you're on 10 mana thanks to Gilded Lotus on turn 7 and your opponent's on 5 or 6 mana. They're playing 5 or 6 mana threats and you're playing 5 or 6 mana threats, but you're also playing a card draw spell every turn. Maybe you're playing a threat and a card draw spell, or a wrath and a card draw spell, or removal and a card draw spell, or just two value spells on one turn, or 3 or 4 value spells on one turn, because you have something like a Gilded Lotus out. And that's what I expect from like a 4 or 5 mana sorry, mana source. Expensive mana source. I expect it to be able to produce a lot of mana, so we don't get that. I mean, what did I just say? We don't get like 2 mana every turn from something like 3 life for a red. And the other problem is it's all red mana, so it's gonna be more like, you know, when you resolve a really big mana drain, or we've got a Thran Dynamo out. You know, it's how much can you really do with that colorless mana? Maybe you're 5-color control and you've got 8 lands in play. Maybe you've got 4 lands in play. You know, where are you with your, you know, is your colored mana a choking point? So for those reasons, I'm not too excited to take this new Treasonous Ogre. Again, the name is Treasonous Ogre. It's not out on Magic Online, or I'd pull up a picture, sorry. I'm not too excited to take Treasonous Ogre out for a test drive just yet, because I am excited to play it, but I'm not going to be jamming it into Silver Queen, because I don't know what I'm going to need the red mana for. Like, it just doesn't make sense yet. But, well, I won't go into Silver Queen or Maelstrom Wander or, you know, something like that. I could see it really shining in like a 2-color deck where you actually play red spells. Because let's be clear, in Maelstrom Wander or Riku, you're a rug-colored deck, but what red spells are you playing? You're blue-green. You're blue-green with your general. In most cases. You're blue-green, and you've got, like, maybe you're playing Jokulps. Jokulps is a good card. But, I mean, that's probably one of the 2 spells. Like what do you need red mana for? Like, seriously. So I hope that I'm, you know, probably mildly offending people. Just, you know, I don't want to upset anyone about Magic, or colors, because there's all, you know, different reasons to play EDH, but blue and green are so powerful that usually the rug decks, they don't have red spells, so you can't use a whole bunch of red mana. So I started thinking, what would be a fun thing to do with this Treasonous Ogre card that makes a bunch of red mana, and where can I utilize it best? With that said, I first thought of Roshin Meander, who I can pull up really quickly. One of the reasons I'm using the old client for these videos is that I can show off cards that I don't necessarily own, because... Or do I own this? I own a copy. Maybe I might have built Roshin at some point, so I guess I own it. Never mind. To finish my point, I was just going to say, in this client, I know how to show cards I don't own, but I don't know how to show cards that I don't own in the other client. But I own this, so I'm just confusing you all. All right, Roshin. Add 4 to your mana pool for 4. Sound familiar? Sound like something we were just talking about? And it's legendary, so this can be your general. Spend this only on cards that contain X. So Green Sun Zenith, Genesis Wave, Chord of Calling. Very powerful. All red spells. You could spend this on like a Fireball or whatever, but I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. The Miracle Fireball, maybe this would be really nice with, but for the most part, like this is gonna be casting green spells. Like in EDH, if you can spend 8 or 9 mana on a green spell, you get as much board effect as if you spent 30 mana on, you know, a fireball. Like you're not gonna, you can fireball someone out, or you could tooth and nail, you know, Court of Calling for whatever. So, you know, this to me was one of the ideas for utilizing Treasonous Ogre, and I think I might actually build this too, because I like this. And the power of EDH is the power of MTGO is you can build a lot of decks that share cards, because you are renting ownership of this card, period. You don't need to worry about it being decked. All right, so I'm getting so off topic. But yeah, so Roshin was an idea, but I was like, it still doesn't let me do things where like, Roshin for me would like be like mostly mono green. So it doesn't really let me do anything with red spells. And I've been talking about, I want to use Treasonous Ogre to allow me to cast 2 spells a turn, the same way as if I drew a Gilded Lotus. So, putting Roshin back, what lets me cast 2 spells a turn? And I was thinking Jhoira. Jhoira, a red-blue general, lets me do things like cast Jokulhups, Burning of I don't even know. That's what's weird is I feel like I can pronounce words like this off camera, but recording, there's no prayer of a chance. So the other wildfire, destructive force. I feel like I could cast these off of the new Treasonous Ogre, or I could cast it off Gilded Lotus or Thran Dynamo, the usual staples. And then I could play like a Consecrated Sphinx or something, like a big blue spell. It doesn't even have to be that big, you know. But do I not own that? I guess I don't. Or I just spelled that wrong. I know I own Sphinxes. Sphinx of Uthin, you know, I mean, not exactly the card you want after your wildfire, but sure. Oh my god. So I'm on a kind of old computer right now, and I can actually hear my hard drive spinning. That's not good. Whatever. Don't need to worry about that right now. So I feel like I could cast, I mean, these honestly aren't like finishers, but how many nibs do I own? Both of them? Probably. Yep. You know, I could cast a like, this is the thing. I want to be able to use my blue mana for things like holding up counter spells, and this new Treasonous Ogre for who's not going to make the deck because he's not out yet. But I want to be able to use my blue mana sparingly and my red mana off of this ogre if it ever when it comes out. I should talk about that, by the way. This Treasonous Ogre creature, he's an uncommon, so, and he's coming out in a set where I believe rarity does work like normal. He's coming out in a set called Conspiracy. Conspiracy is going to be a small product, kind of like Modern Masters, I think, where how it's going to work is it'll come out in boxes and booster packs intended to be drafted as a multiplayer solitary drafting environment, but it won't go into standard. It'll be, I think, legacy legal. And I'm pretty sure EDH legal. Here's the interesting thing, though. It's not coming out on Magic Online, so this card might not be legal on Magic Online ever. But on Magic Online, they are promising that some of the Conspiracy cards will be in Vintage Masters. So hopefully we will get the Treasonous Ogre in Vintage Masters. Even if it doesn't, I'm still excited about Jhoira. I like this general. I don't remember if I said this in this take or last take, but I've had Jhoira IRL and enjoyed it. So okay, so that big speech about life and no, I didn't talk about life. big speech about magic cards and red mana and like why I play ramp. And we are 13 cards into the deck, so we're about to. I mean, we're like honestly, there's going to be adding a lot of staples. I'm not sure how much of this I'm actually going to do on camera if I want to do a cut here, but the idea is to cast like Wildfire or ideally maybe Jokel Hoops, or I don't even know which is really the best option. But I want to cast like a big spell and then follow it up with like a dragon. So or even like an even better finisher. Do I own Time Stretch? I don't think I do. But I bet I own... Wow, there's a lot of things that show up with time. Trending Welk, you can make the deck. Telling Time is going to make the deck. Not in this particular order or anything. Do I not own Time Warp? Really? Let's do the Time Warp again. I don't own Time Warp. Well, that we can buy because it's really cheap. I'm pretty sure. Do I want Time Warps in this deck? I think I do. I mean, you have to, right? In Jhoira? It's so important. I should explain what this general does for people who haven't played with it. Jhoira is a 2/2 for 3. Obviously, you beat down with her. You just slam in there with a gray ogre body. That's what it's all about. No, Jhoira... for 2 mana, you exile a non-land card from your hand, put 4 time counters on it, and it gains Suspend. So everything in your hand has Suspend 4, which is awesome because if you're not playing ramp, or if you're light on lands, or if you're just more interested in having a threat later, take something like Sphinx of Uthan. This is a big creature. This is a giant dragon Sphinx man that draws you cards when he comes into play. Instead of devoting 7 mana to him, you can use Jhoira to send him exiled for four turns, and then when he comes into play, I'm explaining Suspend for those people who don't know. You exile Sphinx for 4 turns for the low cost of 2 mana, and then it comes in with haste after those 4 turns are up. So that's pretty good. That's I mean, by itself it's good, but think about the kind of unfair things you could do in the meantime. Like if you turn 3 you play Jhoira, turn 4 you suspend a Sphinx of Uthan and a Niv Mizzet, and then turn 6 you Wildfire, either of the Wildfires, doesn't have to be, or you Jokel Hoops, you board wipe, including lands. That is going to really mess up everybody's day, and then the next turn, or 2 turns later, I mean, you kind of want to wait until like the turn it's going to happen, or the turn before it's going to happen. But these big guys are going to come into play. So that's pretty brutal. I'm just gonna bear with me for 1 second. Sort by converted mana cost. So that's how Jhoira works normally, and we're not really gonna. I'm not gonna change anything about Jhoira fundamentally. This isn't gonna be the video where I show you like the card that nobody played in Jhoira that everybody should be playing. Except I might play more card. Preordain is the card that nobody plays, but everybody should be playing. Like, I don't know, people play Sensei's Divining Top, but they don't play Preordain. And Preordain is like, I tell a lot of people this: you win Magic by playing small ball. Especially for EDH. Like, if you have good cards that do things that Fire Ice. I don't own a copy of Fire Ice, really. This is embarrassing. Like, the first article I ever wrote was about Fire Ice, and maybe I just showing up. Fire. God, why did Fire Ice is so annoying to search for. Let's see if we can hide the creatures. Will help. Do I own a copy of this? No, I do not. Alright, so I'm going to need to buy a Fire Ice, and I'm going to need to buy some kind of Time Warp. Maybe I'll buy 2 or 3 Time Warps. There's like a Portal one, a Portal 3 Kingdoms one, and Portal 3 Kingdoms stuff is not necessarily expensive on MTGO. Do I want to go do that now, or do I want to wait until I have more things to buy? Let's go do that now. I assume that there's no, like... It's not... I've never seen anyone trade on camera, but I would assume it's fine. It's not shady to trade on camera, I hope. I don't know why I'm paranoid about that. I just... You know, I wouldn't want to be like, oh, you got your YouTube channel banned because you used a feature of Magic Online that nobody told you is taboo. Do you not have Time Warp? Really? I don't know how to search for extra... What? Did that work? I didn't... How much is Temporal Mastery these days? No, we do not want to pay $11 for that terrible card. Walk the Aeons. Buy back, sacrifice 3 islands. I don't think I want to sacrifice 3 islands, do I? I don't want to Stitch in Time. Beacon is the one that costs $1 million, but you shuffle. People love Beacon of Tomorrows. I have no idea why. I mean, I guess you can infinite combo with it, but who cares? Costs $1 million mana. I mean, Time Stretch costs $1 million mana, but then you take 2 extra turns, and I guarantee you win after you Time Stretch. Like, you don't need to go too nuts. I wonder which Time Stretch is cheaper. That one by a little bit. I'll take the pretty one. It's worth 20 cents to me. Temporal Manipulation hopefully isn't too expensive. It's $2, that's fine. And what was the other card I wanted? Fire Ice. Again, searching for fire. Promos? Promos should do it. Or not. I hate starting at the bottom. There's a copy of Fire Ice. Hopefully not like the world's most expensive. Oh, cheap Fire Ice. And I think we're going to call it done for now. So I got Temporal, Time Stretch, and Confirm Trade. Yeah, so building a deck on stream, like, I'm not gonna do it in the fastest way possible just because that would be hard. I wish there was a button on MTGO just feel like all the new cards I just bought, give them to me, like let me search for cards by when I bought them. Take that out of there. Remind me to go buy actual Time Warp, because that should go in here. Fire Ice. It's funny how sometimes like it'll be like, hey, you have this card if you like mess up, and like if you have my cards on and off. It's not the best working feature. Alright, so this deck's coming along a little bit. Is it Signet goes in for sure. So what was I saying before I went and bought cards? Yeah, I feel like people don't respect like 1-mana cards like this. Like Sensei's Divining Top. I bet I don't own this. I'm gonna be embarrassed if I own a copy of this card. Sensei's Divining Top is good-ish, but you don't need it. Like, like you'd never play. I mean, it's reasonable, but people play Sensei's Divining Top in like every EDH deck ever, whereas Ponder, like, look at how powerful Ponder and Preordain are. Like, Jesus, like they're so good. Yeah, play these cards if you're not playing them, and play top too. Sure, I mean, people lose too many EDH games with a bunch of 6-mana like creatures in their hand, like we're gonna do with these guys. But at least our general's cheap, so we can run that out there. Let's look at our artifacts. Basalt Monolith goes in the deck. Taps for a lot of mana. So at this point, I've reached the land where I'm just like adding in cards that I want to play. They don't necessarily have to be the best because I don't have a Moto collection as good as I do offline. So I'm not going to be putting like insane things in here. Doing my best with what I have, and buying a couple cards, as you saw. La-di-da-di-da. Do I want to play Nullstone Gargoyle? It's kind of a beating. I don't think I do. I want to play Metamorph. That's for sure. Yeah, this is how I build decks, though. It's pretty directionless. Like, I know what I want to do, but I just kind of throw things in until I hit a point where I need to like turn my brain on and really be thinking about what things do. Because let's be honest, like how many times... Yeah, it says too many 6s. Way too many 6-drops. But hey, if that new creature comes out, we will be prepared. So that's our artifact ramp. Let's look at Instance, I think this is. What do we want to play in our deck? I'll play a copy of Blue Sun Zenith. Actually, that's terrible with Jhoira, because you can't... I mean, I knew it was terrible when I put it in, but... do I want to play cards that are terrible with Jhoira? Probably not too many. Counterspell's good for protecting... the opportunity to counter suspended cards is when they finally resolve, so if you want to protect them, that's when you do it, is when they're coming down. I hope that made sense. Dismiss goes in. Evacuation, return all creatures to their owner's hands, seems good. Factor Fiction goes in. This is a card draw spell, for those who don't know it. This says I own 2 copies of Fire Ice. I do not own 2 copies of Fire Ice. We just went over that. Maybe I do. Maybe I bought more Fire Ice than I need. If so, that's fine. I don't think Ghostly Flicker does anything in this deck, although I do like that card. Into the Core I think is great. It's one of those red cards where I'm like, hey, if I was actually playing a red deck, I would play this. Lightning Bolt is EDH playable. I'm not going to play it here, but it kills our general. It kills a lot of things. It kills a lot of other people's generals. Muddle the Mixture is overrated, but it's also good. I hope that makes sense. Counters things, sort of, and it can transmute for better things. Remand is fine. I used to be in love with Remand for EDH, but I don't know. The more I play, the more I respect actually being able to stop something for good. I mean, I think Remand is amazing. Like you destroy someone's tempo, and you draw cards. But like it's an amazing early play, but it's not like a hard counter or anything. Okay, so that was... You can see how much blue there is in here. Like I just don't have any use for red cards. Acquire and Bribery, absolute favorites of mine. Compulsive Research. We're in sorcery territory now, by the way. Sorcery Land. Divination I could play just for curve reasons. Depending on like what I actually own, that is the thing. See, Foreseas is the kind of card where you could just gain so much value by I mean, it only costs 4, but like, why not suspend it and do it later? Do I want to be insurrectioning? I think I'm gonna. I'll put insurrection in for now. We might take it out later. It's an option. Personal tutor is. I don't like this card that much because it goes to your hand. Recurring Insight is like really solid to use with Jhoira because I mean, just read it. 6 mana to draw a billion cards, and then you win the game. I mean, you don't win the game. You just draw out cards. But I like drawing cards. See Beyond's kind of cool if you're playing like a combo deck and you want to get rid of something. It doesn't really need to go in here, but it's something to do on turn 2. Being able to do something on turn 2 is good. So now we're at 47, which is like kind of an okay number of things. Sort of. We're getting there. Keep in mind this deck's going to be playing like 40 lands, so we're closing in. I want to do enchantments right now. Enchantments. Annex. I like me an Annex. Gain control of a land. If we're gonna be wildfiring like that, might be the difference between us untapping with like a blowout versus first card I put into the deck that has synergy with the deck is, you know, it took me a while. But yeah, gaining control of people's lands might be the difference between us untapping with like one more land than our opponent or not. Or just using it as a Geddon. Mystic Remora is really good, I think. I don't even know. Spirit Away seems like a nasty card for Jhoira. I don't want to play Mystic Remora because I don't like upkeep. I'm lazy. Checking artifacts one last time because I was mostly. I want to play. I have too many 6s for Contagion Engine. Yeah, I don't think I want to play any of these. Don't. So I was mostly in here earlier looking for mana rocks, and now I'm in here looking for spells. Yep. Creature time. Creature time indeed. What are like some creatures that we want to be? Bargarden Hellkite? Maybe. No, I mean, I don't think we want to go. Body Double's definitely coming in. Like, we could play some things like Bargarden Hellkite, but the problem with Bargarden Hellkite is it doesn't even. I'm gonna play Clone because I think that my collection's not good enough to not play Clone. Deadeye Navigator is like probably the last 6 that makes the cut. It blinks things. What can we blink that's even good? Draining Welk for counter spells. Can blink creatures to protect them. That's about it. Alright, so Deadeye Navigator might actually be on the watch list. We might not keep it in, because right now it resets our clones, but it doesn't. I think Duplicate goes in. Goodbye, Steel Hellkite. You're not making the cut. Probably a little early for me to be making cuts, but whatever. Why didn't this show up during artifacts? Did I just miss it? Frost Titan I like. Yeah, we've got so many. Maybe Steel Hellkite is actually better than Goblin Electromancer. You can come and hang out. Maybe Steel Hellkite's better than some of these. Maybe it's better than, I don't know. Now Duplicant, when he comes in, he exiles things forever, so he's good with Deadeye Navigator. Deadeye Navigator is 2 mana, blink a creature. What else is in here? Is it Chronarch's fairly good with Kega? I don't need. Is fairly good with as a way to recur things. Magus you can go in for right now just for curve reasons. Do I want Melik? Melik might actually be clutch, and I mean it's not going to be better than some of these cards, but it's going to allow us to do things like take 4 turns or I mean, it dies to wildfire. Actually, most of our 6s don't die to our wildfire, so maybe Melic doesn't make the cut. Mole Drifter, you can come in, hang out. I don't care if you don't survive anything. Phantasmal Image, come and hang out. Sakashima. Yeah, we can actually cut our clone. I forgot that I bought enough good clones. And also, clones aren't as good as they used to be because of the new worse rule where clones don't do anything anymore, sort of. There's still Hellkite again if we want to get it back in the mix, but I think we have enough 6s. And it's good. It is a good card. No. I mean, people can always like it. It has a good ability, but people can get around it. Although we're only at 58 cards, do I want to play 42 lands or do I want to get something else in here? I'd probably put the clone back before. I mean, how many clones do I really need? Maybe I play Seagate just to. Is this better than Divination even? I mean, because we've got a deck with enough creatures. Don't want to play Old Man of the Sea. Play Mind. Well, this isn't really a deck for Mind Trigger, is it? We have very little that cares about our graveyard. Well, we've got Body Double. We've got Body Double. We've got Think Twice. Do I want Mind Trigger? Let's get. I know Melic's gonna wreck our curve, but it's so fun with a deck like this. I want to try it out. Kiga could be cool, but I don't need it. Do I not? Did I not go to Enchantment Land at all? I feel like in Enchantment Land I should have like a Treachery or something. Maybe I don't. Do I not have any kind of like mind control effect? Time to read Spellweaver Volute. Remember what it does. It's kind of like a bad Snapcaster Mage, if I recall. Whenever you cast a enchant instant in a graveyard, whenever you cast a sorcery spell, copy the enchanted instant card. You may cast without its mana cost, and then you hook it up to another instant. That's like a funny thing, but I don't think it's good enough. Do we have any removal? You'd add Spreading Seas for curve reasons. Okay, we're at 60 cards. So 39 lands. I think that's good enough. That's where we're going to stop for now. Do you guys even want to see me add lands? Because it's just going to be like, the lands are going to be the budget lands for whatever I have on this account. But, I mean, what I would recommend is play the lands you can afford. Like this deck it wants 2 red on turn 6 and 2 blue on turn 5. Play the lands that you can afford to play. There's MTG Salvation has like a good list of budget lands, but I mean, just, you know, you're not playing green, so good luck. Lean more heavily on blue so you can cast things like Ponder and Preordain to go find your lands. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed this journey into building an EDH deck. Are you impressed? Are you amazed that are you still here? We got through making an EDH deck in like an hour. I have zero idea how long we've been recording, but I think it's been like an hour. I'm not hoarse or anything. It's probably been less. So there you go. That's how you build an EDH deck, by just panning through your collection and spastically clicking on things. But I mean, look at this. Like, look at the list. Like, it's not. I mean, Crusher's Endicon. Let's scroll over a good card. Find a good card. Yeah, Jewel Clubs. Yeah, I mean, like, you could reasonably play this. Like, not everything's great, but there's probably not enough removal is like the big thing. But you know, you'd get out there and give this a shot if you wanted to, or something very similar. And very few, like, what's expensive in here? Phantasmal Image? Like, that's, you know, not even that necessary to the deck. Burning of Xinghai in real life, maybe. There I didn't think about it, and I think I pronounced it decently. So yeah, I mean, this is like a really budget deck, and I think it would be a fine option for Jhoira. You know, cut one of these silly cards and add in mana rocks, add in removal, add in a little bit more card draw, and add in that new Treacherous Ogre when it comes out. Thank you for joining us, and I'll catch you later.